Hello and welcome to part 2 of building your combination pot. Now I've built mine up to some sort of a structure here. It's not exactly horse looking, but since it's going to be kind of like a Trojan horse kind of thing, I didn't figure it had to be a perfect horse because it's going to look like it's built by Greeks and given to the Trojans. So I'm currently ready now to, this was all coils by the way, I'm currently ready to build the neck, which will be the spout portion of the teapot. So I have my coils here, they're ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and hatch around my opening because I coiled all of this and then I cut the opening that I wanted for my spout. Okay, and I did make these coils a little bit thicker because I thought if I need to sculpt how the shape of the neck is, I'll be able to do that if I make my coils fatter. Okay, so right now it's just looking kind of like a horse collar, but all of that is going to get smoothed in, and I'm going to blend it into the body a little bit more with my sculpting tools and stuff to give it more of the feel of a horse, even though right now it's not going to look too much like a horse. And I can shape it. The clay is still malleable, so I can push it, I can mold it, I can make that neck opening a little bit more narrow like a horse's neck would be. Okay. And since it's got a short body, I'm not going to make that neck really long either, because I don't want the spout to be super long anyway. And my teapot's kind of small because I don't want a giant teapot that weighs a ton. So keep that in mind when you're making your teapot too. If you want it to be a functional teapot or even a pretty thing to sit on the shelf and not be used, you still need it to look like it could actually be used as a teapot. Okay, so the neck is looking kind of big right now, so I'll probably take a little bit off of this in the back to slim that down a little bit because it's looking a little bit fat for a neck. And I'll go in a little bit on the next layer. So I'm going to come in here a little bit. And these are big coils, so I might have needed to make my coils a little smaller so that they don't take up so much space. Okay. Okay, and then with this, I can trim it a little bit, my cleaning tool, so that I can make that neck not look so heavy. And I'll take a little bit off the inside because my hole is getting smaller and I need to make sure that the liquid could get through that pouring spout. And just supporting the outside while I smooth the inside so I don't collapse my neck at all. Okay, and again, I'm pushing this down into the body, but I'll be able to carve that off in a little while. I just don't want that neck to look too fat. Okay, so I'm just kind of blending it down right now. And I'm supporting it on the inside while I do that because I am pushing down on it pretty hard to get it to blend in. Okay. And of course, I'll do lots more smoothing on this, lots more work to get it to look like a horse more. And I'm just estimating right now how much length I'll need on that neck before I get to the head. And this may be it. Okay, I think I'm ready to put the head on. And this is going to have to be, I don't know, I'm trying to think about, I might want to sculpt it a little bit first with my coils so I can think about where it's going to be placed, because it's got to go like the jaw right here and then the head coming out like that. So I may have to just do some filling right there, like the ears up here. So thinking about it starting from there and moving out here. Let's see. Make some circles here. Because I want that water to be able to get through the tube. So I might just make myself a tube now and then sculpt it into the shape of a horse's head once I get the tube made. Because it's kind of hard pressing it onto that head sideways. So building it up this way, I have a little bit more control. So there I can smooth it in a little bit and see how I can attach it. Smooth that inside a little. Yeah, because it's going to taper down to a muzzle. So I think that's about the right size. A little bit more. And as I get to the end, I need to make my coils a little smaller, just because the spout is going to be a little bit more delicate. I don't want it so thick that I can't pour any liquid out of it. And to smooth those coils on the inside, just reach to the inside and pull it towards me while I'm supporting, so you can see my finger coming through there, while I'm supporting the entire muzzle. It's really thick, so I am going to be taking some clay off because that's going to look like a big dinosaur head if I'm not careful. So I'm going to fill this area in, so I'll need to hatch all of this. And I'm not going to do too much refinement right now because I'm just trying to get things to fit together. And once I get that happening, then I'll be able to make it prettier. Whoops, I'm squishing my hole shut. I gotta protect that inside. Okay, I know it's looking awful weird right now, but remember, I'm just trying to get structure on here right now. Okay, take a little of this off just so it fits the outside a little bit better. A little bit of water because it's starting to get a little dry. It looks kind of like a dog. Okay, make sure my opening's still there. Okay, and at this point, I'm just going to close this mouth just a little, just so I can make that horse's muzzle a little bit smaller. So it's looking too much like a big old sewer pipe or something. So it's just going to take a little bit more refinement to get this looking more like a horse's head. And that will be the next installment. I'll do a little more refinement on this, and then you can see how I cut in the top to have a place to put in the water and that kind of thing.